I take in my surroundings at last. It is a large indoor pool. There is no one else around but this lonesome Oregon figure. It's not far from the balcony. That should be a quick fix, she mutters, then lets out a long sigh. I wonder how much the boss will hate this. I'm fine too, by the way. Thanks for asking. The woman spins around and crosses her arms. After taking in the full sight of my rescuer in all her glory, I have to admit she isn't a bad looker. On the contrary, I find her to be quite attractive. She is tall, very tall. With her broad shoulders and a strong pair of arms, she is nothing short of a model Oregon woman. Chiseled cheeks complement those focused eyes. Her hair is woven up in a messy high bun, revealing the curvature of her defined neck and collarbones in their entirety. Her right bicep looks like someone took a bite out of it. Is it painful still? What would it feel like to touch it? Battle scars are littered along her arms. What else does she have hidden beneath her tight-fitting out? Oh boy. She's already going in interesting directions there. A chuckle escapes my throat. This would be a good place as any to stop imagining things. I agree. I didn't realize it was a pool. Yep. She agrees with a blunt nod. Not a popular time for swimming, eh? It is our nap time right now. The image of many large Oregons gathering around and proceeding to have their collective nap makes me chuckle out loud. This place is more easygoing than the military. Oh, that's right, she was in the military, which was interesting. And the whole background of the military and this setting, when they get into it in a bit, is really fascinating. And I'm really interested to see what else is uncovered about that here. What was that you were doing before you found me? It's calming. It is calming in here. No one would swim right after lunch. I'm glad you were here then. Thank you again, love. No more climbing for me for a while. Not for the lack of trying. Feels good to make fun of myself a little. You don't appreciate being alive until you're so close to death. Plus, 9 out of 10 doctors agree that Pancake is not a good look on me. I love her snark so much. The 10th would be my cousin Nui, who never let me forget the fact I crashed his bike into an oven. Long story. Not to worry. I can always catch you again. I don't plan to do it again, but I will see what I can do. Alright, so, again, just gonna... New slot for each choice, just in case I screw up. Let's introduce myself. Oh, where are my manners? Ru Cheriwadi, the new sous chef. How do you do? I flash my brightest smile and extend my hand. Ru Cheriwadi. She chews on the name whilst lifting her brows. Just Ru is fine, love. I didn't catch your name? I am Dirong. Just Dirong is fine. I am unsure if it was an attempt at telling a joke, but because the deadpanning is on point. I push my hand upward a little more to catch her attention. Dirong shifts from one foot to another with her head tilting to the side. She watches my hand with an indecipherable curiosity for a few seconds before she puts hers out. I latch onto her warm hand with both of mine and give it a quick shake. Her expression softens for a moment, then a scowl is put back on her face. Does your name mean anything? Although we live in the same country and speak the same language, we still keep our people's naming traditions. Stiffweed. Oh, it suits you to a T. Dirong nods. And what does yours mean? Wild cherries. You certainly live up to it. Yeah, she's certainly wild. I love her. Dirong's mouth twitches upwards, building into a soft smile. You mentioned knowing me? What was this about? What was that about? Am I that popular? You're the one the boss is mad at. You didn't show up at the orientation this morning. Boss? You mean Nimgon? Supposedly, if my flight had arrived on time, I would have been picked up at the airport and escorted here by someone named Micah. Nimgon was my first point of contact. Dirong nods slightly. Also, it might have been a Mika. We'll see. It had people talking. Oof. I'm confident my lateness wasn't the only thing worth gossiping. My being the only nymph in this community would also be a popular topic too, perhaps. How mad was she? Give me the sugar-coated version. Dirong sighs. She is still mad. It doesn't sound like the Nimgon that I know of. She was an absolute angel on the phone compared to the contact I had before they approved my application. We had several lengthy calls. It put me at ease speaking to her, and her laugh was infectious. She made me feel like it could all work out. Is this one of those cases where a person's phone manners differ from the way they carry themselves in real life? I shouldn't waste more of her time, eh? Darong nods in agreement. Come then. She heads to the door and turns back. Her fingers do a confident beckoning motion to me. I could only follow her. We slip behind a door marked with a female symbol to rows of amber-tinted lockers. They must have installed them recently. The wood is brand new. The room is big enough to accommodate 2 sports teams. My nose picks up the clear lacquer scent, which is mixed with the chlorine from the swimming pool treatment. Dirong doesn't make any stops to gather her things. A well-lit long corridor lies beyond the locker room door. It is spotlessly clean and bears minimal decor. It is just like what Dirong had told me. Complete silence haunts this hallway. The door on my left, next to the firehouse, has a plate that says stairs on top of it. My room is 304 if you need me. Dirong points to the other end of the hall. The pool is only a walk to yours, then? I would rather have the gym being at this distance. Being at this distance. Gym is on the 5th floor. Dirong laments. Not a fan of cardio, love? That's not... I can't swim well. Dirong ducks her face to avoid my inquisitive gaze. Her bashfulness makes me want to pick on her more. Anyway, the elevator won't slow us down to the basement. Anyway, the elevator won't take us down to the basement. Let's use the stairs. Dirong clears her throat loudly, successfully changing the topic. It is as if she has heard me thinking. Her thumb points at the green door on our left. Her eyes narrow. Lead the way, Dirong. I latch onto her arm. Dirong stops and looks at it for a second. She opens her mouth as if about to say something. She ultimately decides against it at the last second and continues walking with my arm locked around hers. The door squeaks open. Dirong holds it in place, allowing me to get inside. The empty corridor emits an eerie feeling. I feel as if we're being watched. I turn back to double check, but there is no one else around. Also, Earl Grey tea is real nice, friends. Did you know this? Good shiznit. Real good shiznit. Anywho. It is a little difficult to see where I am going. We walk side by side, with me being close to the handrail. I get caught staring at her a few times, but she doesn't seem to mind. You're from Udala, in the north? Have you heard of the Spider Forest? It's in the same area. Udala is blessed with thriving tropical weather. Unfortunately, it also means we are infested with arthropods. Where did you come from? Where did you come from? Durong takes another 3 steps before she mutters a lethargic reply under her breath. Lisarkam, close to Batsuretong. Not sure if I'm pronouncing those. Well, I mean, they were probably, like, words crafted for this setting. Let's see. I really enjoy the challenge of complex words. So, Liskaram, close to Batar. Let's see. Baturatong. Liskaram, Baturatong. That's how I'd pronounce those, I'd say. It is hard to blame Dirong. Towns around the capital city, Baturatong, suffered the most in the war. Dirong reaches out to grab me by my forearm when I miss my step. My eyes are glued on her... Okay, hold on, let me... Because I didn't really know what the... Yeah, usually, that's right. Usually a exclamation point is the whole Gatsby thing. Dirong reaches out to grab me by my forearm when I miss my step. My eyes are glued on her serious face the whole time. Watch where you're going. I nod. My hand tightens its grip on the handrail as we continue our trip. Eventually, we reach the lowest floor. The door frame of this basement is bolted to the wall with high-strength anchors. This area seems to be designed to withstand heavy pressure. It makes sense to me that someone of Nimgon's caliber would choose to stay down here. Despite its thickness, Dirong pulls the door open with ease. You're so strong, Dirong. Pfft, it's only a door. Dirong pauses for a second to give me a look over. Most of us are not a pretty petite thing like you. You think I'm pretty? I can't help but giggle to myself, disregarding Dirong's puzzled scowl. The lights flicker on and off in this old basement. Pipes of many shapes and sizes run along the length of this dark hall. The sound of water dripping is calming me. On my right is a glass window with fish swimming just right outside. A large shadow floats away from me, leaving a long trail of dark liquid. Rue, you okay? What? Yeah. I thought I saw a shadow carrying something. I rubbed my eyes. There was no trace of it when I gave another look. It must have been a trick of the light. This place smells a little musky and salty, but it isn't as bad as I have imagined. The ventilators are well placed. I highly doubt that was something like that could be a trick of the light, but we'll see what it is. Hopefully nothing horrid or anything, but who knows. My right arm loops around her left when we descend onto flat ground. I couldn't refrain from squeezing. I haven't held a gun in a long time. A gun. But don't flex. I'm not flexing. Even slightly. Don't flex. I'm not sure how I should say that. Honestly, I feel like the dialogue is written in a rather stunted way. Like, I don't know. A lot of the ways, like, the way the person uses just, I don't know. I'd write this a lot differently than this. I'd write the exact same content very differently, but I am a writer. I think about these things, and we all have our own styles, I suppose. But I really feel like it's bad English, some of the ways they're writing, though they may not have English as their first language. I'm not sure. Either way, it's still well written enough, and there's definitely a lot of eloquence in there, but definitely goes away from my writing preferences for certain. We have been lightly bantering the whole way down. Dirong seems intimidating, but I believe she isn't a bad person. Like, for example, that sentence is fine. Some of the others just don't seem to flow correctly. Like, I would write the same sentence quite differently. Would you look at that? I have a friend here. Would you look at that? I have a friend here already. See, that one's also fine. Would you look at that? I have a friend here already. That's probably how she'd say it. Dirong tilts her head and watches me for a few seconds. Her look is undecipherable. Friend? Oh, you mean the boss? No, it's you, Dirong. I could not be any clearer that I meant you. Of course, we can be friends. I detach myself from Dirong when we stop at the first door to the left. The door has no nameplate on top of it. If someone glanced at this door, they would shrug it off as a utility room. This is where she is. There are more rooms down the hall. All occupied? A yellow stop sign lies midway through the curved hall. There are no lights beyond that point. The sense of curiosity permeates my mind. Storage rooms, mostly. Higher-ups used to live down here, but now they're left empty. They're now left empty. Yeah, that's how it was structured, but, I mean, the way I said it was A, how I would write it, and B, that's how the point, gets the point across. Dirong relaxes against the wall. I almost forgot to ask. You okay with the eel people, You okay with the eel people, Like the sewer folks? We don't call them that here, okay? Especially not in front of the boss. Oh, I'm sorry. Is merfolks okay? Merfolks, sea lass, or eel people. They're all fine. I still know little about these merfolks. That is about as much as most people. We have yet to come up with a consistent term for them. From the books, they seem to have evolved from electric eels. They are all carnivores and do not appear to have the same communication capabilities as normal people. A lot of them nest in the sewage system, hence the term sewer folks. They eat a wide range of proteins, from stray pits to rats, insects, or larvae. There are occasional stories in the news with footage of them eating bridge jumpers. Oh boy. Wow, I wasn't expecting something as so far lighthearted as this to address something like suicide, but okay then. Or corpses tossed in the sewer by murderers, or anything like that either. But I do remember this line from earlier, because, again, as you all saw earlier, I have gotten a little bit farther here, but I'm fast approaching territory where I am not yet, I'm fast approaching new territory, basically. Alright, if they don't attack me, I suppose I have nothing against them. Is there a particular reason why we are having this talk? I'm preparing you. Nimgon must have a soft spot for the sewer folks. It is sweet that Dirong seems worried about my meeting with Nimgon. Is there anything else about her that you can tell me? Not much else to say. I think she's really scary. Isn't that interesting? I can't imagine Dirong cowering at anyone's sight. On the phone, Nimgon gave me the impression of a nice woman who would give you cookies. Whoa. I've never met her in person, despite everything. Dirong knocks on the door. It's Dirong from the 3rd floor, ma'am. I have Rue with me? Rue Choriwadi. There is no answer coming from the other side of the door. We both give each other shrugs. Dirong tries again. It's open! Jeez! This time there is a familiar voice calling. No, shouting from beyond the door. Oh? Dirong tries the handle again. It is indeed open. You will be fine. You will be fine. I don't know, Dirong. Will I? She turns to leave, but reluctantly stops after 2 steps. Do I wait for you, or... Not necessary. I've bothered you plenty today, love. You did. Jeez. Dirong nods in agreement. Dirong isn't one to miss words, is she? Nope. But I will see you later, okay? I will be upstairs. 3rd floor. Room 304. Thanks for the walk, love. Room 304. Thanks for the walk, love. I give her a nod of encouragement. She seems more at ease when she sees my smile. Dirong gives me a salute before going upstairs. Deep breaths through. Eye contact and my smile.